these flex drapers, and then there's the MacDon. The MacDon is the original flex draper. We were the first company ever to put a draper header onto a combine, and we were the first company ever to make a flex draper. MacDon, and why does everyone love a MacDon that owns a MacDon? The difference between a MacDon and any other draper header, or flex draper header, is the fact that the MacDon is two modules together. So we have our float module and we have our header module. Why do we have a float module? We can carry 97% of the weight of the header. So if this header weighs 4 ton, for argument's sake, we carry 97% of that weight on the float module away from the skids. Why is that important? Skid wear, as we all know, can be very, very expensive. With the MacDon and the float system, that helps to reduce skid wear, helps to reduce running costs. We have 6 skids on the front of the header, which carry 15 kilos per skid, and that is for ground contour following only. We ground follow at the knife. We do not follow behind the knife, we follow at the knife. You're not ground following if you're sensing behind the knife. You've already hit the object on the floor. It's a little bit like having a low bridge sign the wrong side of the bridge. So here you can see our float module in a lot better detail than the other side. But this is basically what carries the weight of the header. So we have 4 big springs, 2 this side, 2 the other side, and that is what carries 97% of our header. This is the feature that stops us bulldozing. It stops us pushing soil onto the cutter bar and contaminating all of the crop. It's a very simple system to use. It's fully mechanical, no sensing, and it follows the ground either at the skids when you're cutting between 0 to 6 inches, and then it follows the ground at the wheels when you're using the Contour Max, which is from 0 to 18 inches. It's very important to understand the simplicity of this system. So, to take the header off the trailer and to get it ready for work is very simple and very easy. We have 2 locking mechanisms. We have the flex and the float, and we've got one each side, and I'm going to demonstrate now how quick it is to get it into flex mode and float mode for the field. That's your flex done. That's your float done. Dead simple, dead easy. One of the big features that we get told that the farmers like is the simplicity. Simplicity in the operation and the lack of electrics on this header. We only have 4 sensors on the entire header, and none of them sensors are at ground level. The mechanical following is very, very important. If you're wanting to have good output out of your combine and you want to maintain a good forward speed, you need to be ground following at the point of contact, not behind. So even if you're on the skids with ground following, it's 15 to 10 kilos on the skid, and when we move to our wheels, the Contour Max system, that weight does not change. We do not add any more weight to our ground contact. One of the good things about being mechanical, it's responsive, it's very reactive. We're not relying on electric circuits, hydraulics, sensors, anything. It is reading the ground in real time. And that's very, very important. So yeah, these flex drapers, and then there's the MacDon. The MacDon is the original flex draper. We were the first company ever to put a draper header onto a combine, and we were the first company ever to make a flex draper. So here we've got the upper cross auger, full length upper cross auger, no stall points, no sections. It's one complete auger to ensure that the feed into the center is not disturbed or disrupted. And then down here we've got the flywheel into the wobble box for the knife drive. It's 1,500 RPM. We run the knife that fast to ensure that you can have good forward speed. You're not going to get any knife stalls. So uptime is very, very important. But it's very, very simple, and yeah, nice, clean, easy to use, nothing complicated. It does what it says on the tin. The MacDon FD2 has the deepest draper on the market at 50 inch. The reason we have deep drapers to allow bushy crops to sit on the draper without hitting the back sheet and to feed into the front of the combine head first. When you have a shallower draper, the crop can hit the back end panel, it'll change the direction of the flow and it'll stop the head first feeding. Head first feeding allows the threshing system to work at the optimum capacity. And that's what the MacDon delivers very, very well in all crops. Head first feeding into the center, into the combine. It just allows the machine to do the best it can at cleaning and threshing your crop. One of the good things about the MacDon is its multi-brand compatibility. And that's from the fitment to the combine, but also the feed drum. We can configure the feed drum to match the combine to ensure that we have good feed into the combine at all times. So it enables good feeding into the combine's feeder house, regardless of the size. We can remove flighting and add fingers, and we can add flighting and remove fingers. This header is completely compatible with all sizes of feeder house to ensure whatever the colour of combine, it's feeding the combine the best it can. One of the big features of the MacDon FD2 is our reel to cutterbar relationship. On the double reels, we can have a reel to cutterbar relationship of 20 mil. The reel and cutterbar know where each other is at all times. That stops any trapping of the knives or cutting of the knives. On our triple reel, 45 foot and 50 foot, because the flex points marry the reel points, we can have a cutterbar to reel relationship of 5 millimeters. It's so important to keep your knife clean at all times. The consistency of the cut of the MacDon is down to the reel to cutterbar relationship. If this cutterbar was to move, then the reel does not know where it's moving to. And that's one of the good things about the mechanical system. The reel and the cutterbar are always the same distance away from each other, and it allows that knife to stay clean, and it allows your field to be cut perfectly. So the MacDon FD2 comes in 6 sizes, from 25 foot up to a huge 50 foot. The 25 foot is very good for straw walker combines, very popular with straw walker combines. But luckily enough, we're going to have a MacDon FD2 at Serial, so pop along, come and chat to me and the other guys from MacDon. We'll explain to you why MacDon is the original flex draper and why MacDon is trusted by thousands of farmers worldwide to ensure that they get their entire harvest out of the field and into store.